God of War 3 kind of picks up where God of War 2 left off. We're concluding a trilogy storyline of the God of War story, the main character being Kratos. And his goal at this point is to seek revenge on Zeus and all of the gods of Olympus. So his goal is to basically destroy Olympus. At the end of God of War 2, he brought back the Titans, which from Greek mythology are were the original gods before the gods came around. They fought and lost. So Kratos brought them back from right before they lost the original battle, brought them back to his time, and is assisting them in attacking Olympus again. We're finishing off a really in-depth, a really great story. We've got the power of the PS3 behind us. We've got the team who brought you God of War 1 and God of War 2 working on tying up all the loose ends, making this go out with a bang, making this the best God of War game ever. The God of War engines have been very much an evolutionary process. God of War 2's engine used a lot of the God of War 1 technology, and we just enhanced it, made it better, massaged it, fine-tuned it. God of War 3 is no different. We're using the God of War 2 engine as a base, and we're building on top of it, getting it all up and ready for PlayStation 3. 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, we tore out our complete engine and lighting system and enhanced it, redid it, so we could get the kind of look that you're seeing on the screen behind me. There are rats that are running around on the floor, on the ground. We didn't plan to do that. As a matter of fact, I knew nothing about it probably a week and a half ago. And what happened was some of our artists got together and thought it'd be really cool to add some rats. So they spent the extra time at night putting them together, and all of a sudden they just showed up. And then we're like, guys, don't put the rats in. We got to focus on getting some of the other demo stuff taken care of. And they're like, okay. And then the next day, somebody took the next step, and they're now moving around. I'm like, who is putting this stuff in the game? God of War 3 is very accessible. Combat system's very accessible. You can play God of War 3 as a button masher if you want. But we also added a whole bunch of layers and depths into our combat system so that if you want the nuance, if you want the added flourish, you can go in and you can huge long combos. You just YouTube some God of War combos and you'll see some crazy stuff. All that's done with a very simple, very accessible combat system that, my mom could pick up and just, do this to and get through. So it's a balance, and I think we've struck the balance very well on the God of War products, and we aren't going to be changing it very much for God of War 3. Our goal is just to keep piling on the nuance onto the back end of the combat system, but the front end of it is going to stay very much the same and very accessible.